Namaskaram. In last class, we have seen the derivation of heat equation, which is related to heat problem. And we know that the temperature uxt should satisfy heat equation. In this session, we will solve heat equation by method of separation of variables. Okay, let's start. Method for solving this problem is similar to previously discussed verb problem. So we just run through it. Okay. We assume that the solution uxt is function of x into function of t. Then the partial derivatives, partial d square u by dx square become x double dash t and partial du by dt equal to xt dash. Here x double dash means d square x by dx square and t dash is dt by dt. And substituting these two derivatives in equation number 1, then we get xt dash equal to alpha square x double dash t. Then by separating these variables x and t, then we get x double dash by x is equal to 1 by alpha square t dash by t. As similar to the wave equation, we know that here left side is function of x alone and right side is function of t alone. This is function of small x and this is function of small t. So they are equal or even equal to a constant k. Okay. Now we have two ordinary differential equations. The one is corresponding to the first ratio x double dash by x equal to k. Other is corresponding to 1 by alpha square t dash by t equal to k. By simplifying this first ratio, we get this equation d square x by dx square minus kx equal to 0. And by simplifying this, we get dt by dt minus k alpha square t equal to 0. We denote this equation by 2 and this by 3. Case 1, k equal to 0. When k equal to 0, equation 2 become, by integrating this equation 2 times, we get x is equal to c1x plus c2, where c1 and c2 are arbitrary. And when k equal to 0, this equation 3 become, by integrating this equation, we get the solution u equal to x into t. uxt become c1x plus c2 times c3. Okay. But if you expand this bracket, what happened? So this become c1 c3x plus c2 c3. But here c1 and c3 are arbitrary. So the product is an arbitrary constant. So we are replacing the c1 c3 by some a1. Okay. Similarly, c2 and c3 are arbitrary. So their product is also an arbitrary constant. So we are replacing this product by b1. So finally, when k equal to 0, our solution uxt become some a1x plus b1, where a1 and b1 are arbitrary numbers. Case 2. In case 2, we assume that k is positive. That is, k is equal to p square and p not equal to 0. So equation 2 become, its auxiliary equation is, so roots are plus or minus p. So the solution of this differential equation is next we consider the equation number 3. So when k equal to p square, equation number 3 become, this is a first order equation and it is variable separable form. Now it is in variable separable form. By integrating both sides, we get a constant of integration, that is log c6. Log t minus log c6, that is log t by c6. By taking exponents on both sides, we get, this implies, so t equal to this one and x equal to, the solution u equal to x into t. So uxt become, similar to the previous case, here c4 into c6 is another arbitrary. So we are replacing c4 into c6 by some a2. And also c5 into c6 also an arbitrary constant. So we are replacing the product by, so this is the solution corresponding to k is positive. In case 3, we assume that k is negative. That is, k is equal to minus p square and p not equal to 0. So equation number 2 become, so its auxiliary equation is the roots are plus or minus I into P. So the solution of this ODE is equation 3 become, now it is in variable separable form. To integrate on both sides, we get taking exponent on both sides, we get so our solution T become like this. What is our solution? Our solution U equal to xt. So this into this. So here C7 and C9 are arbitrary, and the product C9 into C9 is be replaced by another arbitrary constant A3, and similarly C8 into C9 is replaced by B3. So this is the solution corresponding to K is negative. These are the three possible separable solutions of heat equation. But our aim is to solve heat problem. That is, we have to find the temperature uxt. So in coming slides, we will analyze which solutions are consistent with heat problem. A heat system is said to be steady state if the temperature is independent of time. That is, temperature is a function of x alone. That means after the steady state, there is no change in temperature with respect to time. So what about the rate of change of temperature with respect to time? U is constant with respect to time. So its rate of change, that means partial du by dt. What about this quantity? Yes, this becomes 0. So this is our heat equation. Our heat equation become, this side is 0. So this implies partial d square u by dx square equal to 0, because this is 0. So steady state solution satisfies this differential equation. Now we assume that the system in steady state. So our u is a function of x alone, that is u in terms of single variable x. So this representation become normal derivative d square u by dx square equal to 0. Then integrating this expression 2 times, we get the steady state temperature u. Integrate once more, then we get, so this is the steady state temperature. U is equal to ax plus b, where a and b are arbitrary numbers. We denote the steady state temperature by USX. So S stands for steady state. U is our temperature. Okay. USX is equal to ax plus b. And one more interesting thing is, this is the solution corresponding to k equal to 0. Our first case. Okay. So our steady state solution of heat problem is ax plus b, where a and b are arbitrary constants. This is independent of time. It is given that length is 20 and one side is 30 degrees Celsius and the other side is 70 degrees Celsius. Okay, we have to find the steady state temperature. We know that steady state temperature USX is equal to AX plus B. Then what are the given conditions? Here, when x equal to 0, the temperature is always 30 degree. That means US0 when x equal to 0 is equal to 30. On the other end, that is US20 when x equal to 20, the temperature is given, that is always 70. These two conditions are given. Okay, and we know that this is our steady state solution. So we have to find A and B using these two conditions. So first we apply this condition, put x equal to 0. So what happened? When x equal to 0, this becomes 0 plus b, that is b. And what is US of 0? That is 30. So b equal to 30. So our solution become Ax plus 30. Then we apply the second boundary condition, that is x equal to 20. This implies, what is US 20? That is given 70 degree. So A is 2. Therefore, our steady state solution is Ax plus b. Substituting A and b, we get steady state solution is equal to 2x plus 30. Now we know that what is heat problem, heat equation, and 3 separable solutions. Out of these 3 solutions, which one is not consistent with our heat problem? Yes, we have seen that first one is the solution of steady state heat problem. So it is consistent. That is, it is a feasible solution for our heat problem. Whatever be the boundary conditions, all the heat systems will achieve steady state after some time. After this stage, there is no change in temperature. That means you consider a cross section. After a long time, this cross section will achieve a particular temperature. For example, it is 50. After steady state, there is no change in temperature, whatever be the time. And this is true for all the cross sections. Maybe you consider another cross section, it may be 30. So the thing is, the temperature function uxt is bounded with respect to time. So out of these two solutions, which one is not consistent with our heat problem? Yeah, in second solution, one time is e raised to alpha square p square t. We know that these two are positive and t is time. So time is varying from 0 to infinity. So t is always positive. So it is clear that this function is unbounded with respect to time. So when t is very large, this quantity tends to infinity. So e raised to alpha square p square t is unbounded with respect to time. So the second solution is not consistent with heat problem. What about this term? E raised to minus alpha square p square t. Here t is varying from 0 to infinity. So this quantity is varying from 0 to minus infinity. Okay, and we know that e raised to 0 is 1 and e raised to minus infinity equal to 0. So this quantity is varying between 0 and 1. So this is bounded with respect to t. Okay, so this uxt is bounded with respect to t. So time being, the third solution is consistent with the heat problem. In next session, we will derive the Fourier series solution of heat problem from this third separable solution. This is your homework. Thank you.